We're launching a programme this week which is focusing on developing inclusive and creative economies. So the DICE programme, which will focus on 5 countries initially, Brazil, Egypt, Pakistan, Indonesia and South Africa, working with organisations across the UK social and creative sectors to look at how we really think about social enterprise and the creative economy as a means to develop more sustainable opportunities for individuals. And to some extent, our current economic systems have become very objective around ideas of markets and institutions, and I think part of what this movement is doing is it's creating a way for us to bring people right back in at the heart of that, but in a really fundamental way where we're recognising that the solutions to the problems that we're talking about absolutely need financial capital and they need systems change, but that is going to come with unlocking and allowing a level of human agency and creativity to be really seen as a key asset right across our world.
And I agree, and I think I'll add to that, look, the other reason why our discussions and collaboration is timely is because we risk that there will be criticism that the impact movement belongs to investors or entrepreneurs or governments alone and is elitist or niche. And I think that means going retail. And we don't have enough of those products around in the world, and that's one of the things the movement has to help develop. And I think that's where art and culture have to play a much bigger role because we have to get to that in this journey of the impact movement. And I think as we keep GSG and British Council keep talking, I think that should be one of the objectives. Our task is cut out. OECD countries are already investing 20% of their budgets on social and environmental issues. Even with 500 billion that philanthropies throw in, we just don't have enough to tackle the problems on hand. So in some ways, we all got to welcome the fact that we have an opportunity to let private capital partner public capital to address these issues. And our excitement stems from the fact that this is just not incremental capital alone that will address poverty and social justice and climate justice, but we are changing the framework in how the economies work.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree with that. I think what we've seen is extraordinary progress, and the dial really shifting in terms of the inclusion of the discussion. So you made the point about movements needing to be inclusive, and for me the challenge and the opportunity is to be absolutely embracing what we have achieved, and then to be working in very new ways with new audiences and new partners to look at how we develop those further and how we expand them to include other parts of the economy and society and culture, which is a conversation that we've also been having. I think the important thing is that there's a reframing of the idea of economy which belongs to everybody. And so where we are trying to shift people to think about buying social, making small day-to-day decisions about what they do.
We are at a point in time of this inflection of this impact movement where we are still building the pathways on how every retail household can participate. But we got to have hope that because young millennials are showing again and again that they are ready to carry this burden on their shoulders. Look, GSG and British Council are already working collaboratively. Recently in Seoul, we organized some events together, taking the message to Far East Asian economies about the impact to the world. And I think this is great that we can deepen, widen our partnership. And as I've said before, I think it's important that this movement be a movement of the commons. And as a network of networks, we don't have that capability here, but British Council does.
And from the British Council's perspective, a big part of the work that the GSG has been able to do, again in a very short space of time, is the development of national advisory boards in a growing number of countries. And so we want to make sure that we are working together to be, having those conversations in a way which is collective and helpful rather than, unnecessarily separated, that we are sharing resources and relationships and supporting one another to move from conversations to genuine, reform and change. It's a collaborative economy that we're building, and so we need to demonstrate that collaboration amongst all of the different players who are privileged enough to have existing platforms where they can make a difference.